Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we will promise and deliver on big explosions just for you. It's Lost in the Midcard. Here we are after... Did you like that, Matt?
Terrible.
Here we are after AEW Revolution. A fine show, I would say. Maybe not the best pay-per-view ever, but they still put on a fine show. A very good follow-up as well on Wednesday night. Since we're coming at you this Friday, we will talk about Dynamite. And we'll save NXT for next week, possibly, though, just because we may have not much to talk about the following week. But we're going to talk Raw and SmackDown as well, Impact. Also, run down the card for Sacrifice, which is this Saturday on Impact Plus, Fight TV, whatnot. We'll run down the card, our predictions there. A lot of headlines to talk about. Of course, there's a couple extra days in there since we moved this show to Friday. So let's get right into it. First, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps as well. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard and hit that subscribe button. That way, you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically on Wednesdays. But when you subscribe, you'll know when a special day comes your way, like this Friday show. And oddly enough, I looked at On This Day Memories on Facebook, and we had a Friday show last year too. Weird. I don't know. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube where we have the video version of the podcast. Please go over to facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard or Twitter at LITMC podcast. Go to the pinned post there. Head over to our Facebook page. Please give us a follow, and on the video, give us a little like and maybe a comment what you think of the show, what you think of what you saw in wrestling this week. So give us a little thumbs up, a little comment, and we'd appreciate that. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host. He is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Look, they fixed everything on Dynamite last night. I'm good.
They did. I like that.
Life is better now.
I like that.
Life was not good after Revolution.
Boy, that was a shit burger.
I felt like shit.
I mean,
because I can't even imagine how the AEW staff felt.
Yeah.
Because I was really enjoying the show. I was feeling good. And that last minute of the pay-per-view, I felt like somebody took a freaking boxing glove and punched me as hard in the stomach as they possibly could. Like, I legitimately felt like garbage for the rest of the night after the ending of that pay-per-view. I felt terrible.
Yeah, what was shitty about it was such a great story of a babyface turn. It was so dramatic. It was so awesome. And then, oh my Lord. They explained it off on Wednesday, which we'll get into all here shortly. First, let's briefly talk about Dynamite from last week, man. How about Shaquille O'Neal's performance? That was a pretty solid performance in my book, Matt.
I was come down, do a lot of wrestling. Good job.
Underdog. I thought Jade and Red Velvet had some good exchanges in the ring too, man. I mean, that you could set that up for a feud on its own, I think, because they looked pretty good in the ring together. I thought it was overall a really good match, Matt.
Yeah, no, I thought everybody involved did a great job. I enjoyed it. I thought Shaq did fantastic. I love the table bump he took.
Nice bump.
You know,
did he sell it on Inside the NBA? I didn't get a chance to watch it.
They showed it. They showed it the next night, and he got a little bit of grief over it because they asked freaking Kenny as Shaq, why you tapping Cody's shoulder? And Shaq's like, I had to make sure he was all right. Just like ah.
I was hoping he'd show up in a neck brace like Pat McAfee.
Yeah, no neck brace.
But after that big table spot, Jade then hit a kind of what looked like a glam slam to pin Red Velvet and get the win for Shaq and Jade. Really fun overall. They loaded Shaq into an ambulance, and Tony went to open the ambulance door to get answers, and Shaq was gone. And they never followed up on it, even the other night, Matt. It's like I thought maybe with the debut of Paul White, there might be something going on later on this night, but they didn't even follow up on it.
That's what I assumed. I assumed we were going to see him later in the night confront White or something. But
yeah, I was like, what the hell happened there? That was so weird.
Know. Yeah,
and apparently everybody in Daly's place was able to see him leave the ambulance too. So.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, there's video.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there's video people took that show him getting out of the ambulance out of the front or whatever or something. They didn't hide it well from the crowd.
I did not. This is the first I'm hearing about that. I did not know that.
Phoenix and Pac beat some jobbers. Good segment with Jericho and MJF and the Bucks on their press conference, leading to the Bucks doing a little double table dive. That was a pretty good segment there. I loved that. FTR with Tully took on Jurassic Express 6-man tag. FTR gets the win with Tully. In the end, there was a mystery attacker that helped FTR. Takes off his little get up, and lo and behold, it's fucking Sean Spears. Didn't we just talk about this guy last week, Matt?
Well, we were prophetic in the fact that he was about to come in. He was about to make his comeback to television. So it all worked out.
It did. Oh, it'll all work out once we get to the end of Dynamite. Let me tell you that much. Spears,
this week's Dynamite.
Yeah. We got maybe some different opinions here. A new little blonde mohawk on Spears as well, and they all celebrate together, and then Arn Anderson kind of saunters out. Got a little Four Horsemen vibe, huh? Of course, a cool part of that was JJ Dillon joining the guys at ringside as well. A little Paul White interview, and
they own the not AEW, but the people involved own the Horseman trademark.
Oh, that's good.
If they want to go with the horse, they can't. Nobody can stop them. Like Flair can't stop them if they
Vince
choose that they want to.
Can't stop them either.
No, they don't own it. As far as I know, believe it or not, as far as I'm aware, Conrad Thompson owns the trademark to the Four Horsemen.
Turkey tits?
That's my understanding.
Shut up!
Turkey tits, huh?
So.
Wow. That's a weird own.
I know. I thought that was pretty odd myself because I thought for some reason Arn Anderson owned it. But then I heard recently that it was Conrad that owned it, not Arn.
Maybe that's why Tony's giving him TV time.
Yeah, I think we don't know the name of that faction yet. They have not confirmed any name of that faction. I would not be surprised if they're just called the Horsemen. They might not call themselves the Four Horsemen.
There's five.
Thanks, Wardlow.
He'll turn face soon.
If it wasn't for Wardlow, they would be the fucking Four Horsemen. But
yeah,
I'm very interested to see.
Unless MJF is like
unless
MJF's doing the JJ, he's too young to do it. But unless he like just calls the shots for a while and doesn't even wrestle,
that's not happening.
No,
his whole. If you pay attention to long term storytelling, his whole reasoning for getting a faction to begin with was because he wanted to be the world champion.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get this faction and then not work.
Yeah, true. So yeah, it's just the Horseman would be cool. Paul White making his AEW debut came out with a T-shirt that says "No More BS" on it. I thought that was pretty clever.
I'm not a fan of these new recruits T-shirts so far.
So far,
I didn't like Whites and I didn't like Christians.
Christians is okay, but
And I was very disappointed because I won a Pro Wrestling Tees gift card last week.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I have a gift card for when the new signing shirt comes out on Sunday. I'm so fucking excited. And then Christian comes out and he opens his jacket and he shows the shirt. And I'm like, and I was like,
text.
Well,
there's
dude,
there's like a logo behind it, but
I rather would have just said like instant classic or
no longer caged. No longer caged.
I didn't like the shirt at all. I ended up ordering an old Hangman shirt that I've wanted for the longest time, and the new
anxious millennial
shirt.
Cowboy.
No, I'm here to do some cowboy shit.
Yeah.
Shirt. I got that in the new Hikaru Shida shirt. So,
Paul White.
Yeah, I wanted to get the Christian shirt until he showed it, and then I was like, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, sometimes their designs are either a little too much or not enough.
Yeah, I thought that one was a big disappointment. Hopefully he'll get a better shirt in the months ahead, but I won't have a gift card then.
Yeah, you will. Paul White talking about the new Elevation, which him and Tony will call starting Monday, and fuck, what a main event to kick off Elevation, Matt. Riho against Maki Ito.
I love it.
Damn, that's gonna be a hell of a main event.
Love it.
I think somewhere along the line I'll have. I think I have the rundown for Elevation. If not, we'll maybe try to dig it up before the end of the show. And Paul White talking.
No matter what, AEW needs to do everything in their power to put pen to paper.
Yes.
They need to get Maki Ito under a contract as soon as humanly possible.
Surprise, motherfucker!
You know, one of the worst things? She has no T-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Really?
Like, literally, I literally just typed in Maki Ito because I thought maybe she had her own store or whatever, and she has no shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees at all. Like, her first shirt that AEW releases for her is going to blow up. It don't matter what. I'm telling you, it won't matter what it looks like. That shirt's going to sell gangbusters when they release that, if they sign her to a deal.
Oh man, she is if you didn't know who she is now, everybody is basically, she's over already.
Insanely over.
Yeah, if you didn't know her, if you already knew her, you're happy as fuck. If you didn't know her, you're in love with her already, and she is over. It's awesome. Paul White talking about how a Hall of Fame worthy talent is going to make a huge surprise and be a huge asset to AEW. It's not who you think, even though we thought who it was, and we were right.
Well,
I was even right on the ladder match.
Let's be real. It's not who you think was them saying it's not CM Punk.
Yeah.
They didn't want to come out and say his name, but they were trying to cover their bases immediately. And look, it's on us, the wrestling community, to overhype ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, even after Punk went on Twitter and said, it's not me.
No, nobody believed him.
People were still like, oh, it's still you. You're working us. You know, it's just, and that's the problem with the wrestling community. We do this to ourselves. So, yeah. Like, I had it down to 4 people. And I was very confident as of like Friday evening, I believe. I think it was Friday evening. I was 90 to 95% certain that it was Christian Cage. So
yeah,
I was not disappointed.
Yeah, my predictions were Christian and Ethan Page for the ladder match, and lo and behold, I went 2 for 2 there.
Yeah.
Nyla Rose took on Ryo Mizunami in the finals of the Eliminator tournament. Another great match in that tournament. Every match on Dynamite was tremendous, and of course, all the matches on YouTube were good as well. But as Matt predicted, we ain't bringing a lady over from Japan just to wrestle one match, so she won to take on Shida at Revolution. We had another segment with Sting and Tony and Team Taz. Then the main event, face of the ladder match, or not main event, face of the ladder match qualifier, Max Caster in 10. Max Caster getting the win there after about a 10-minute match. Decent little match there by a couple of up and coming superstars.
Which we found out afterwards that Anthony Bowens is
hurt.
In fact, out with an injury. So
like the
win made sense.
Yeah, like I suspected. It's like
had he not been hurt, there's no way that they wouldn't have been in the Battle Royal. No. There's no fucking way.
No.
But I mean, I thought it was pretty cool of Tony to give Caster that platform, because Vince, a lot of times in other companies, when one tag team guy goes down, the other one disappears. You know, like the Viking Raiders are a perfect example. Like, when's the last time we've seen Eric? You know, after Ivar got hurt.
Well, then he decided to do some surgery on his own while he had the downtime. So, but yeah,
I'm just using that as an example.
Jey Uso was the same. Yeah, Jey Uso was the same way until Daniel Bryan took over creatively.
Well,
and
that
said, hey,
had a lot to do with Roman. Let's be real. That if Roman hadn't been back on TV, Jey Uso wouldn't have been back on TV either. That was all Roman influence, in my opinion. Like, I'm sure Bryan wanted to help, facilitate the push, but Jay's reappearance back on television was a product of Roman returning at SummerSlam.
And the main event, Silver and Hangman took on Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn, and the good guys got the win there. It was good. That was a good episode of Dynamite. It almost felt like a pay-per-view in itself there.
I thought it was one of the best go-home shows I've seen for a wrestling pay-per-view in a very long time.
Yeah. AEW Revolution, the buy-in. We had Britt Baker and Maki Ito taking on Riho and Thunder Rosa. With the heels getting the win.
That was such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, Maki Ito being the surprise partner for Britt Baker since Reba was hurt.
Thea Trinidad took herself off the board that night by hopping on Twitch and playing video games.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, oh well, it ain't gonna be her. But some people, and look, and this is a perfect example of wrestling fans. There are even some wrestling fans going, oh, she's playing backstage. And like 5 minutes before the match, she's going to go off the air and show up. And I'm just like,
oh, boy.
Guys, come on.
Stretching it there a little bit.
But yeah, that's what wrestling fans do. We overhype ourselves. And like, we're not the only genre to do this in. There were a lot of people that were disappointed with the season finale of WandaVision. And that was because everybody hyped themselves up into fan theories and stuff.
Everybody's disappointed
that really
in any...
didn't,
almost every...
never really were going to happen to begin with.
That's with almost any show.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, we as a human being...
Everybody hyped themselves up for Game of Thrones and were let down.
Yeah, You'll find it in any fandom. Like, we're not so different than other people, essentially.
A damn good start to the pay-per-view with Jericho and MJF taking on the Young Bucks. Probably the one match in the card that could have went either way. We were really unsure of what was going to happen here, but I think we both picked the Bucks on it. We were right on that. Went about 18 minutes. It was a definite hell of a tag team match to start things off. Very, very, very good match there. And then we got the Casino Battle Royale with all sorts of teams jumping in on here. Natural Nightmares 5 and 10. Why did they call them Nickel and Dime? Come on. Santana Ortiz, Matt and Mike Seidel, Grayson and Uno, Austin and Colton Gunn. So I think this might have been I would assume, I think both there. Well, no, I think Austin's been on pay-per-view with his daddy. So I think it's Colton's pay-per-view debut. Peter Avalon.
He might have been in a past Casino.
I think Austin played. I think Austin wrestled with Billy.
Point.
Yeah, and so this is Colton's debut. Peter Avalon, Cesar Bononi, Varsity Blondes, Bear Country, Jurassic Express, Butcher Blade, Private Party, SCU, Ray Phoenix and Pac, Silver and Reynolds. AEW's got a lot of tag teams, Matt. Jesus Christ. I'll tell you who impressed here that kind of out of the blue that you wouldn't expect to. I thought Bear Country had a pretty good showing in this match, Matt.
Tag team wrestling. Yep. What happened?
There, are you there?
Are you there?
Yeah,
Yeah, looked like you froze up for a second.
Yeah, connection's kind of getting.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Motherfucker.
I hear you clear now. You hear
I'm
me?
Good?
Yep. Yeah,
I hear you. I'm just making sure you hear me.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit there, but we're good. I thought Bear Country had a hell of a show in there, Matt. Got some eliminations, looked pretty good there. Of course, QT Marshall's a piece of shit. We know that if you watch Sammy vlog, right?
Oh, the Sammy vlog on everybody that for a very long time. If people haven't been paying attention to Sammy's vlog, then well, shame on you.
Unfortunately, Fuego didn't get the win on Dark, though.
I was not happy about that at all. Like, the QT did not fucking need that damn win.
No.
Like, at all.
No.
I was not. Look, I don't go out of my way to really watch Dark more. Just don't have him. But I went away to that match. And you all right?
Yeah, you would cut out again.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So what was that about QT?
What's the last thing you heard?
You were just talking about the Sammy vlog about how you were disappointed how QT did not, or you're disappointed how Fuego didn't win.
Yeah. I just said, like, I don't really get to see AEW Dark much.
Yeah.
Anymore. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
But
Not many of us do.
I went out of my way to go and watch that match. So I was very disappointed that Fuego didn't get the fucking win.
You think that did they set it up to continue at all or no?
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to wait for Sammy's vlog this Tuesday to find out. But it seemed it.
Good point.
Seemed pretty final to me.
Yeah. Oh well. The end of that tag team casino battle royal, hell of a twosome there between Ray Phoenix and Jungle Boy, with Ray Phoenix getting the win. Phoenix and Pac moving on to face the Bucks at some yet to be determined time. I think. I don't know. Are they announced when they're gonna?
It's gonna be on a special Dynamite.
Yeah.
You know when they're gonna do it? April 7th.
Go up against Takeover 1, Night 1?
Yeah, because not only do I think you're going to get Ray Phoenix and Pac against the Young Bucks on April 7th, I think we're getting Blood and Guts on April 7th. And it's going to be the Inner Circle.
Oh, there's going to be there's going to be counter programming.
Yeah, I think we're getting both that title match and Blood and Guts on that. I think Christian Cage will be in action too. Not sure the match. I think they're going to pull the trigger on him and Kenny. It's quick. But he'll be in action on April 7th. Mark my words.
Somebody will step in, and because we'll probably have Kingston. We'll probably have Kingston and Omega.
They might Christian and Mox against the Good Brothers and Omega. They might do a 6-man that night. They're going to stack.
Oh yeah, they're definitely stacking the deck for that April 7th show for sure. After NXT made the announcement that it had been long rumored for not long rumored, but it had been rumored for a couple weeks now that Takeover is going to be a 2-night event with the announcement of a Thursday takeover show after people had noticed it was going to after the WWE Network kind of spoiled it when people trying to cancel their subscriptions. They noticed that takeover is going to be on a Thursday, so they just announced, of course, 2-night takeover on Wednesday and Thursday before Mania. So AEW Women's Championship up next. Hikaru Shida, Ro Mizunami. This was a tremendous women's match here as well. Went about 15 minutes. Hikaru Shida continues her long reign as AEW champion. And after the match, Nyla Rose showed up, attacked Ryo, and Shida tried to intervene, and Britt Baker and Maki Ito showed up, and then Thunder Rosa came in for the save, setting up the obvious 6-woman tag that would happen on Dynamite the next night, or following Wednesday, I mean. Miro and Kip Sabian against Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and we kind of got the badass Miro here, didn't we, Matt?
Yeah, and I think we're finally gonna get the split between him and Kip when they meet up in this arcade match.
Yeah,
because yeah. I think Kip will take the loss for the team, and Miro will snap afterwards and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
and I think that will split them off, and we'll finally get Miro in the main event picture where he belongs. Mm-hmm. And man, you mind if I go on a rant right now?
Okay.
All right. Motherfucker's never going to be happy. Never going to be happy. Miro shows up. They don't immediately rush into the main event. And everybody's like, what the fuck you doing? Why are you wasting Miro? Why isn't he in the main event? Why isn't he challenging for the world title? They bring in Christian Cage. They tease that he's going to feud with Kenny Omega. Why the fuck you bringing him in and putting him in the main event immediately? Why is he already challenging for the title? Blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Like, you can't have it both fucking ways, dipshits.
Yeah.
Like, you either want them to come in and immediately go to the main event, or you want them to be built. You can't have both. And while both men should be granted to be right in the main event title picture immediately, the fact AEW tried to not do that with Miro, and people bitched about it. So Kano's like, all right, let's just do it with Christian, and people still fucking bitch about it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't fucking win on that. And it's frustrating to see the fan base act that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you have the ending that happened at the pay-per-view, and then the marks really go off on it.
Oh, you telling me.
Chris Jericho and MJF interviewed by Alex Marvez backstage. Jericho says there's going to be a war cancel on Wednesday, and MJF says he's been thinking about this a whole lot and thinks a change will make the Inner Circle a whole lot better. And we all thought we knew what was coming, but just wait. Hangman Adam Page against Matt Hardy. Big money match. This was a pretty decent match here, as we came to expect between these two guys.
I think it was a little too long.
About 15 minutes is what it went.
I think it was about 3 minutes too long.
AEW likes to make long matches, don't they?
Yeah, look, I love Matt Hardy, but I don't think Matt Hardy at this point in his career needs to be in any matches longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, especially in a one-on-one environment. Like, if you're not utilizing like the broken gimmick, or you're not in like a multi-man tag match. Like, I don't think Matt Hardy at this point in his career needs to be in a match longer than 10 minutes. I just don't. I think he kind of exposes him at this point in his career, and look, I love Matt. I'm trying to preface this, but he's not as good as he once was. He's much more valuable as a talker,
a carny,
a talker, a talent,
a carny piece of shit.
Like his in-ring time should be scaled back.
He's in his late 40s, so.
Is it late? I thought he was in his early 40s. I thought he was like 42
He'll
or
be 47
something.
this year.
Holy fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, I see. I thought he was on the early end of the 40s, but
Being broken at
what's Jeff Hardy then?
Jeff Hardy.
Maybe that's who I'm thinking.
Jeff Hardy is 40. He'll be 44 this year.
Okay, I was probably thinking of Jeff. Okay.
Pretty cool finish by the Dark Order catching Hangman and then basically slingshotting him up into a buckshot lariat. I thought that was a pretty clever finish to get to the end there for Hangman Adam Page. He's rich. He's got that big money. Face of the Revolution ladder match up next. Max Caster coming out making Dr. Seuss and Governor Cuomo jokes. Lance Archer comes out. Hey, they were listening to me. I said how I missed how Lance Archer just beat the shit out of someone during his entrance. Well, he did it. Well, he might be turning heel too. Little foreshadow for Wednesday. And of course, we got Scorpio Sky, Penta, and the sixth man, as I predicted, All Ego, Ethan Page. Hell of a get for AEW for sure. And that looked like a giant gold bootio on the top of the ladder, Matt.
Everybody I talked to is calling it the Sonic.
Yeah,
Sonic ring.
Waiting for the sound effect to go off when someone grabs it.
Look, I said I wanted the brass ring to be big enough to be visible. I didn't mean that big.
Well, you got what you asked for, pal.
Yeah, well. Oh, well.
What'd you think of the ladder match? I thought it was solid as always.
I found myself being way too distracted by Cody.
Oh, they focused on him a little too much, you think?
Like the shit in the like he felt like he was in the tunnel for like half the match.
Yeah.
And he just kept getting up and looked like he was going to come back in and going back down and getting up and looked like he's going to... Like, I found my eyes
looking at the tunnel,
to be distracted and looking up at the tunnel instead of actually focusing what was going on in the ring. And I wish they wouldn't have done that. I have never been a fan of wrestler A gets hurt in the middle of the match, gets taken to the back, and then comes back at the end of the match. And I especially don't like it when wrestler A wins. So yeah, I'm happy.
That's WWE Cody, booking right there.
Yeah, I'm happy Cody didn't win, but I still didn't like that they did it. Yeah. So, yeah, it was just kind of
Fucking Penta hitting that destroyer on Cody on that ladder. That was some insane shit right there, man. In the end, it was Scorpio Sky getting the win, and then on Wednesday night, I subsequently predicted his heel turn on Twitter. I predicted it. I felt it.
He was playing heel in the booth last week.
Yeah.
In the match when it was Caster and 10.
Yeah.
I mean, he was very much, speaking like a heel.
Gave you the foreshadow.
Commentary that night.
Gave you the foreshadow. And the contract signing moment, nobody in the ring or anything, just a podium and a countdown and kind of some familiar music. It was similar to his Impact Wrestling music.
Yeah, it's a remix.
Yeah, Christian Cage. Of course, he used the countdown in Impact as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
So
it's almost identical.
So him and Archer get the countdowns. Was Jericho the first one? Jericho had to been the first one to use it, right?
The countdown?
Yeah. For entrance? I would think so.
I can't think of any, but I mean, I might be wrong. But
yeah.
I mean, just thinking being put on the spot like this, I can't recall anyone else using the countdown prior to Y2J. But I could, like I said, I could be wrong.
Christian, hell of a signing. He's 47, but hasn't wrestled for 7 years, the past 7 years regularly. So I guess you could say he's a young 47, right, Matt?
I think he looks great. I thought he looked great in the Rumble. He's gone on record as saying if he didn't think he could do in the ring what he did back then, he wouldn't be doing this right now.
Yeah.
So I believe him.
Matt, all he wants.
I think he's ready to. I think he's ready to roll. And I think WWE fucked up.
Matt, all he wants is one more match.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
He wants a few. He wants a few.
He signed a full-time multi-year deal. I think he wants a lot more than just one match. He might want one more title reign.
One more match, and then one more match after that, and then one more match after that.
I think he's here for the long haul, as he told Renee on Oral Sessions earlier this week.
Which is such a weird name for a show.
Right?
Saying it out loud. Hey, congrats to Renee.
It gets people's attention.
Congrats to Renee. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but became a U.S. citizen officially. So yeah, good to see Christian. I think it is a major deal because WWE fucked up. I know the marks are going to say, oh, they're hiring they're WCW. They're hiring all the old guys. You know, that's why they're called marks. And so, yeah. The street fight. Oh, man. This was probably one of the best cinematic matches I've seen, Matt. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the open. It was kind of a movie-like open. And then the match itself, man. I don't know, man, but I thought this was one of the better cinematic matches I've seen.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Darby going through that glass, that was so cool. And then they show it in slow motion on Dynamite on Wednesday. Man, that was pretty fucking cool.
Darby basically said he had a hand in like producing 90% of this match.
Oh, really? Cool.
So he said he was a.
So he's the man behind his own videos then half the time.
Yeah, he said he dropped out of college to be a he was taking filmmaking.
Oh,
in college.
That just makes a lot of sense. That just makes a lot of sense.
He enjoys the fact that Tony Khan allows him to continue, you know, his passion of filmmaking.
Yeah.
While wrestling in AEW. So, yeah, I thought the street fight was amazing. I thought Sting looked great. I thought everybody in the match looked great, but particularly I thought Sting
in the ring
was awesome. And Lance Archer's getting his wish. Lance Archer for years has wanted to do something with Sting, like all the way back in like the freaking Lance Hoyt TNA days, when Vince Russo told him, "Yeah, bro, we'll get something done with you and Sting," and it never fucking happened.
Yo, bro.
So like,
we're gonna give you Guitar Hero controllers instead.
Like Archer is super pumped to do something with Sting, and I think the two of them together will make something pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah. I guess you're probably gonna turn him heel, obviously having to feud with Sting.
I don't know if you need to turn him heel though. He just turned him babyface recently.
Well, let's see what tunnel he goes out of. I love it when the announcers. I love it when the announcers reference the tunnels.
I would prefer them I would prefer Lance Archer to just remain a tweener.
Yeah.
I just want one guy in AEW who is a complete badass. He doesn't care if you're a good guy. He doesn't care if you're a bad guy. He just wants to beat the shit out of everybody.
Hey, everybody.
That's what Lance Archer should be.
Hey, everybody dies.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So
Darby Allin taking a coffin drop from fuck knows where and going to God knows where. Man, that was fucking cool. It's pretty cool to see Hook get involved a little bit as well. And of course, Powerhouse Hobbs. But it was not enough because Darby takes everybody out with the with that coffin drop from who knows where, and then that left Sting and Starks in the ring, and Sting hitting the splash and hitting the Scorpion Death Drop, and Sting and Darby Allin getting the win, and Sting looking great in the ring. You saw a lot of in-ring stuff with Sting. It wasn't protecting him at all. It was a lot. There was a lot of street fight stuff, but there was a lot of in-ring stuff with Sting too, and he looked phenomenal. So excited to see Sting in a non-cinematic match, which will probably be with Lance Archer, probably at Double or Nothing, I would assume. Man, if you want to really fuck the ratings war up on WrestleMania, you put Archer and Sting April 7th. You won't. It's not going to happen. They're going to make you pay for Sting, I assume. You never know, Matt, though.
We'll find out soon enough.
That's Mania weekend, so I wouldn't put it past Tony to put Sting on TV.
I think April 7th is going to be a very big show.
Well, no more BS, Matt.
Will you stop?
No more BS. Oh, fuck. Main event. Exploding barbed wire death match. Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley. This was fucking great. Well, let's just not talk. Well, we won't talk. We're just talking about the match at this point right now.
The match itself was awesome.
Man,
yeah.
Dude, my favorite part of the match was when Omega hit the one-winged angel and Moxley triggered an explosion to break it up. That was so fucking genius. I loved that. Was my favorite part of the match. I thought first, somebody's going to kick out of the one-winged angel for the first time ever. Still, nobody's kicked out of it. Somebody's exploded out of it, though, Matt. Holy fuck. Just all the match itself was tremendous. The setup, the get up, the explosions, they were great. Fucking what the hell was that? Did Moxley drove Omega through that platform with a paradigm shift? Wasn't that what it was? On the outside? Was that what he hit on there? Was a paradigm shift, I think. You remember, Matt?
Yeah, from the run apron.
Yeah, that fucking move was nice. Rimsberg looking like he was trying
like a beekeeper.
Yeah. And then the Good Brothers came and fucked everything up. This was after Moxley triggered the explosion after the one-winged angel. The Good Brothers came out, handed Omega an exploding barbed wire baseball bat. That was pretty cool. And then finally, the Good Brothers took over, and Omega put Moxley up for the one-winged angel on a steel chair and got the win after 25 minutes of insanity, man. I fucking loved it. It was a hell of a match. After the match, the announcers noted that the clock is still ticking, and the ring's going to explode if they hit the 30-minute mark. So that allowed Gallows and Anderson to handcuff Moxley, and the quartet continued to beat up Moxley and left him laying. And then a big swerve, a big surprise with about 20 seconds left. Out comes fucking Eddie Kingston to save Moxley. I thought that was just a tremendous way to do a babyface turn. I thought it was, I was on the edge of my fucking seat until, the clock hit 0, and we all know what happened there, didn't? But that aside, Matt, before a clock went 0, that ending was fucking great. If that explosion would have delivered, we'd be talking about this a completely different way, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I would certainly say so.
Because goddamn, that was something, especially with Eddie Kingston coming out. Nobody saw that coming. And the story it told of him basically jumping on the grenade, so to speak. But unfortunately, we got what we got. But, they explained it off well on Dynamite, which we'll get to in a little bit. Moxley gets on the mic. This was posted on social media afterwards. And Kenny Omega may be a tough son of a bitch, but he can't make an exploding ring worth of shit. So that was kind of just to send the crowd home happy, I guess, Matt. I felt
like he wanted to say something.
Yeah, because the crowd, it was like, what the fuck was this? Oh boy. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. BTE this week, old Tony Hawk hooking the boys up with some decks. Bunch of.
Oh, is that Tony Hawk's company?
Yeah, I think Tony Hawk.
I didn't know who the board company was. I didn't realize it was Tony Hawk.
I'm pretty sure Tony Hawk, probably with his relationship with Darby Allin, is probably what hooked that up. But yeah, that I think Tony Hawk hooked him up with the boards, if I remember right. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was. So I guess there's a lot of skaters in the company. Ryan Nemeth does. I guess Matt Jackson said he used to. Obviously, we know about Darby Allin. So, oh, Matt, what'd you think about the Good Brothers and Brandon Cutler's big problem?
Fucking dumb.
The Good Brothers.
Fucking dumb.
Oh my God, the Good Brothers crack me up. I love when LG goes into Vince mode too, man. He's gotta come. Shut up. Will you stop? Oh
yeah, pretty much. Will you stop?
I can't fucking stop laughing at the Good Brothers, man. It's just so fucking funny. Then we get some interesting developments in this new church between Ryzen, Nyla Rose, and Vicky Guerrero. Quite the interesting trio indeed. Got some behind the scenes stuff from Dynamite, Shaq making his entrance. And pretty cool little thing with Matt and his little boy recreating the table splash as well. I thought that was kind of cool. Then we got the Good Brothers and Cutler. I guess this is a doctor waiting room because I guess the erection lasted more than 4 hours. So I had to go to the doctor. Matt's just shaking his head.
You're enjoying that a lot more than I am. I just thought it was dumb.
I couldn't stop laughing. Then we got a bunch of Revolution highlights and the Dark Order celebrating a big win for Hangman, even though the Dark Order had like a lot of teams in that battle royal and they didn't do the job. But Hangman won, so they celebrate the best way that they could. And then they realize the Dark Order realizes, you know, unfortunately, where's Anna? Anna is getting surgery, unfortunately, so no Anna for a while. Maybe joining the Dark Order could be Maki Ito, Matt. Surprise, motherfucker! That was fucking great, wasn't it?
I'm good with it if that's the direction they want to go.
Comes through the door with the double birds. Surprise, motherfucker! And then the Dark Order just went nuts. Private Party went to check on Matt Hardy after the loss. He wasn't taking it well. What's with the grapes? Do you know what's with the grapes, Matt? They did it on Dynamite too.
The grapes are back when Matt Hardy was originally fired from WWE.
Okay.
And he was utilizing them in online skits, going nuts over the relationship between Edge and Lita.
Oh.
And the grapes signified basically alcohol, essentially, and he was Matt Hardy, all caps.
All caps.
And he was all about the grapes. The grapes were like they were implied to be like an alcoholic type of thing, or drugs, or something along those things. So yeah, the fact that the grapes are back is hysterical, and it's definitely a nice nod to old school Matt Hardy stuff that clearly not everybody remembers. Like you didn't remember. So
no. Yeah, they brought it out on Dynamite too.
Yeah.
Dynamite. Speaking of Dynamite, kicking off with Ray Phoenix and Matt Jackson. Tremendous singles match between those two guys, and like Excalibur's talking, like Excalibur's obviously called a lot of Young Bucks matches in his day, and he was like he could count on one hand how many singles matches he's called. So it's kind of cool seeing the Bucks in singles matches where you don't normally do that. After the match, we get Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston in a room with some drinks, and Kingston says he went into that ring thinking he was going to protect his friend Moxley from a big explosion. He got a flashback the last time he had this anxiety. He was sitting in a jail cell and everything went black. So that is Eddie's explanation of what happened there for selling the explosion that didn't happen. And Eddie said you could go ahead and make fun of it, call him a coward or less of a man. He says he talks about how Kenny Omega thinks this is a video game, but he didn't scar up his hands playing video games. Moxley said he didn't think Kenny was joking. Moxley said that Kenny really wanted to blow him up. Eddie joked that Impact paid for the bomb. Moxley says, "Well,
which is implying that Don Callis bought the bomb."
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh, maybe they're picking on Impact again," but I'm like, no, Don Callis is an executive
of Impact
with the company.
Yeah,
they were implying that Don Callis paid for the bomb.
Moxley says
people just need to chill out. They're like, they have really backed off on the whole Impact burial thing.
Yeah.
This one, I did not find this to be that bad. Like, to me, it made sense in the story that Don Callis would in fact pay for this bomb for Kenny.
Yeah.
So, people, you know how people get.
Eddie
joked for something to complain about.
Eddie joked that Impact paid for the bomb. Moxley says, "Well, that makes perfect sense." And Moxley wondered if the bomb said Acme on it. Back to the old Looney Tunes days.
My roommate, who's a casual fan, popped really hard for the Acme line.
Really?
So I mean, it was definitely something that got over. I guarantee you that was I guarantee that was a line that a lot of people enjoyed.
Moxley says, "I survived the barbed wire death match, and all I got was the stinking T-shirt." That was pretty good too. Moxley says, "Well, even though he didn't win the world championship, he got his drinking buddy back." Moxley said that Kingston could have got there earlier. They joked about it kind of in a friendly way. And Moxley says he's glad Eddie didn't go blown up. And Eddie says same. And Moxley says if they're going to use a weapon, you better use it. Or if you're going to flash a weapon, you better use it. Matt, I thought this was a good way to explain the shit show at the end of the pay-per-view. And man, I am so happy that Kingston and Moxley are together, because this just opens up a whole new realm of things of things you can do with these two guys. You wonder what to do with Moxley now that he's not in the title picture. You got it right here. Him and Kingston. This is gonna be a hell of a duo, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun watching these two guys work together. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, I mean this was something people have been hoping for a while.
Yeah.
So to finally get it, I think it's gonna be very entertaining.
Yeah, like this segment was.
So yeah.
Cody Rhodes beat a jobber in like under a minute. Tony Schiavone interviewed him, but then Penta El Zero showed up to talk some shit. Even mentioned Cody's wife and kid, and he did not like that, which started a little brawl that got broken up. I wonder if Alex Abrahantes is going to be Penta's manager. Maybe. I think that could work. Obviously, you've seen him on BTE. I think he would be a decent manager for Penta. What do you think, Matt?
I'm confused of the direction for Death Triangle at the moment.
Yeah, it's not really a triangle right now, is it?
Yeah, I'm not. I need to understand where things are going from there before I start pairing Penta up with that guy as his manager, and I need to know what's going on.
Yeah,
I need more info,
because obviously Ray and Pac are working babyface, and Penta is obviously working heel right here. So I think Death Triangle long term is better as a heel, but at least 2/3 of them, I think Phoenix could be a top babyface in any company right now. But I guess we're gonna rematch Cassidy and Taylor against Kip and Miro. So
yeah, like I said, I think this is where Kip loses it for the team.
Yep.
And Miro loses it in response, and King kills Kip.
Tony Schiavone comes out and interviews, and Sting said Darby Allin's a dangerous man, puts his body on the line every night, and when you combine a dangerous man like Darby and a man like the Stinger, you're going to get the win. And not far into the interview, Lance Archer shows up with Jake, and that led to an interesting dynamic there. So we'll see where that goes from here. That's going to be kind of interesting. QT Marshall with Lee Johnson, and Marshall says emotions got the best of him during the tag team battle royal when he walked out on Dustin Rhodes. But we all
No,
know
it
he's
didn't,
full of
QT. You're
shit.
just a piece of shit.
Exactly. He's a piece of shit. All ego, Ethan Page.
Big fat shit eater.
A
Lot of shit eating. Lot of shit eating.
not a lot of respect.
No respect. No respect.
Not a lot of respect. Ethan Page against Lee Johnson, unfortunately marred by TNT playing NBA audio at the same time. That was weird.
Please don't take my sunshine away.
It's like, are we here? It's like I hear whistles. I hear what the fuck's going on here? There's a basketball
literally
game.
in a fucking NBA game over Dynamite. It was very frustrating.
I believe
it was even more frustrating when I determined that it was a TNT thing and not an AEW thing, because I reached out to other people who were watching in Canada or watching on Fight internationally.
Yeah,
and
Fight.
nobody knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't happening. Yeah,
this was a TNT thing in the States, and it made AEW look bad. And I think their ratings when that came out today, even though they beat NXT, I think they'd have been a little higher had they not had that 10 plus minutes of audio fuckery that I think some people tuned out from.
Yeah. I believe Tony Khan made good and posted the full match on YouTube as well.
He did. But still, the damage is done, so to speak.
Page beat up on Lee Johnson after the match, and QT Marshall did nothing because why, Matt?
The dick.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Human filth.
Dustin Rhodes made the save. Alex Marvez interviewing Adam Page. Page bought a lawnmower with some of Matt Hardy's money and rode off with the Dark Order. That was kind of funny. Poor Five. God, Five just gets the shaft all the time, doesn't he? He's even getting the shaft in the boy band, Sammy's vlog. He's getting the shaft on BTE. Poor Five. At least he never found out about the torn up Valentine, because that would have just been crushing, wouldn't have been.
I think he's had enough issues.
So we were supposed to have an interview with Tony Schiavone and Christian Cage, but then Kenny Omega's music plays, and then you immediately think, oh, are we going to get this somewhere down the line? Because AEW likes to set up multiple things at once and then take their time and build them well most of the time. And so while we have Kingston involved with Kenny, we're sowing a little seed for Christian Cage and Kenny, aren't we, Matt?
Yeah, I will admit I was kind of annoyed by this.
Why so?
Because I want to hear from Christian Cage.
True.
He showed up on Sunday, didn't say a word. I was looking forward to hearing what he had to say on Wednesday, and again, nothing. So don't tease me again that Christian Cage is going to speak and not give it to me.
Don't tease
I'll
me,
get
bro.
really fucking pissed off. Like next week, if you advertise we're going to hear from Christian Cage, I want to fucking hear from Christian Cage. And that's all I got to say about that.
Thank you, Forrest. Don Callis says you're not going to hear from the brand new signing of AEW because we call the shots around here. And then Don stroked Omega's junk a little more, calling him the god of professional wrestling, the king of the death match. And Omega said, well, maybe not everything went to plan. And they joked about the explosion. I love that they made fun of the explosion. They poked fun at it even more. I thought that
they had to.
Yeah, whatever. They did what they needed to do on Wednesday, and I thought that was good.
To me, it was the best thing they could have done.
They joked about being the explosion not heard around the world, and they found it interesting that they took a lot of heat from the company because, of course, they put the blame on Kenny Omega and the fans because, well, yeah, we paid money. We want to see this promise. And Callis says, well, people wanted to see a giant explosion. They won't confirm or deny if rigging it to not explode had anything to do with them. I kind of liked how he spun it off to make look where they made it look like they spun it off and made Tony Khan look like a fool for overpromising. I thought that was well done too, Matt, where they kind of spun it off like that and like the heels that they are. I thought that was a great way to kind of deflect it, Matt.
Well, I feel they doubled up on it, and I feel at this point they never need to mention it again.
Exactly.
I think the best thing they can do at this point would be for it to be done and over with. We don't need to bring it up again. What's done is done. Time to move on.
Yep.
Essentially.
Um,
So
they made fun of Kingston passing out, called him a pair of idiots. So that was pretty cool. Omega takes the mic and says that it would have been fun to never have to worry about Jon Moxley again. And Omega said that he still got to show everybody that Moxley's a loser. And then they mocked Kingston dry humping Moxley. 69 me, Don. The internet went off on that comment, Matt.
you think?
69 me, Don. Eddie Kingston comes out, and Callis, of course, talks about how he had hired Kingston and fired him because every time he gets this close to the top of the chain, he screws it up somehow. The fans that were in attendance chanted Eddie, so that just tells you alone that it was a babyface turn well done. If we had a full crowd there, it would have been loud when Eddie came out. Guarantee you, the pop would have been insane for Eddie Kingston. Callis says they're going to give Kingston 10 seconds to get out of the ring before they kick his ass, and then they did a countdown and made fun of Don. That's where we got the old Don 69 me joke and all that. And Kenny then asked Eddie what he hoped to accomplish, and said to take a shot at him. The first one's free. See what happens. Well, he took that free shot, decked Omega, and then Jon Moxley came out and brawled with the Good Brothers and Omega alongside Kingston. And then Christian Cage came out and tried to do the kill switch, but Don Callis pulls Omega out of the ring. And overall, good segment, wasn't it, Matt? Except Christian didn't talk. I know you didn't like that part, but
no. Other than Christian not talking, I enjoyed it very much. But
teasing that kill switch. I wonder if they call it the kill switch.
Yeah, they did not call it by name.
Anything
on commentary. So
I'm guessing they sure as fuck ain't calling it the Unprettier, because that's a dumbass name. But
we'll find out soon enough.
Oh, how cool was it to see Christian and Kenny stare each other down? Man, little fancy, little dream booking right there, pal. Shut up! Well, Vince, you should have signed him, you dumbass. But anyways,
I'm fucked up.
The 6 women tag that we got from the pay-per-view happened there. The Good Girls get the win as Thunder Rosa, Hikaru Shida, and Road Mizunami defeated Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, and Maki Ito. After the match, Britt Baker attacking Thunder Rosa, as this has probably been one of the best feuds in the women's division in AEW history, and is going to set up a main event lights out match, Matt, on St. Patty's Day next week. How about that, man? That's going to be a hell of a main event. Having them, is this the first women's main event, by the way, or
yes?
Okay, I thought Shida may have with Nyla once, but I did not know for sure. So first ever women's main event, lights out match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker to end the feud, probably. And
that's a big match to go out on. They haven't done many lights out matches in AEW, so
and to have the women do it even
better. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal.
Matt Hardy unveils that he has adding to his big money empire as he's brought in Butcher, Blade, and Bunny along with Private Party. And hell, you still got Angelico and Jack Evans that work with him from time to time.
No, I kind of think they got dropped.
Think so? Because of Butcher and Blade, adding Butcher and Blade, do you think?
Yeah, I think they dropped. I think one of them might be hurt.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that. But to me, adding Butcher and the Blade on this week's thing said to me that TH2 are out.
Okay. Scorpio Sky, Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Went about 13 minutes. Good, a hell of a match there. I mean, no surprise with these two guys involved. And then the seeds were planted. Matt mentioned last week. I predicted on Twitter, and boom, there we go. Heel turn Scorpio Sky, and very interesting. Be interesting to see how Scorpio does as a heel. But SCU was kind of heelish, but then they were so good and so entertaining, the crowd couldn't boo them anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here with Scorpio as a true heel. Because obviously when they came over to AEW, SCU were baby faces because everybody loved SCU. So next week on St. Patrick's Day Slam, they taped it tonight. I see, Matt. They taped it.
I would assume it was taped tonight, yes. But
yep.
I mean,
that's what it says. Taped on Thursday.
I don't think there's any spoilers out right now.
Moxley and Kingston take on the Good Brothers. Cody against Penta. Jurassic Express and Bear Country take on Matt Hardy, Private Party, Butcher, and the Blade. Is this Bear Country's Dynamite debut?
No. I feel like they've been on Dynamite before. Jake, like a multi-man thing or something along those lines. I feel like we've seen them on Dynamite before. At least one time.
Jade Cargill in action, and then of course your main event, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, unsanctioned lights out match. Inner Circle War Cancel ending the show up, and we all thought, oh, here we go. MJF's going to kick Jericho out of the Inner Circle. And that was the plan until Sammy Guevara came out and showed some hidden camera footage. And so then it looked like, oh, okay, MJF, the Inner Circle, going to beat down Jericho and Sammy Guevara. But Chris said, you thought you were smarter than us, but in the end, you're not. Everybody turned around to face MJF. They went to beat him down. And MJF said he did not want to take over the Inner Circle because he was too busy building his own. What? We all just went, what? And sure enough, the lights go out. And in the ring, FTR, Wardlow, and Sean Spears with Tully Blanchard, and they just beat the piss out of the Inner Circle, didn't they?
Pretty big beat down, brother.
Man. Hold on, my mouse is fucking up. I tell you what, though, did not see that coming, did you?
No, it was a very well done swerve.
Yeah, I thought it was a tremendously done. I wonder if my battery's dead. That's not good. Kind of need a mouse. There we go. Played with the battery a little bit. Got it back. Yeah, that was a hell of a swerve, man. Did not see that coming at all, which is great because we all expected MJF to kick Jericho out, and it looked like they were going that way. So it's kind of funny. They make you seem like it's obvious, and then look what happens. All of a sudden, we may have a Horseman stable now. We may have the stable we've been trying to talk about for a while now. And they bloodied up Jericho and beat the piss out of him, and Wardlow powerbombed him through a table. That was just, man. That was a hell of an episode of Dynamite, wasn't it, Matt?
Hashtag good shit, pal.
Impact Wrestling this week. Tasha Steelz took on Jazz to open things up, with Jazz getting the win there. Trey Miguel talking to Sam, who was the wrestling student that Sami Callihan was talking to, and it looks like Trey didn't quite get too far with him as he believes in Sami Callihan, so they decided to have a match in the ring later on. James Storm and Chris Sabin took on Rohit Raju and Shera, with the good guys getting the win there. Brian Myers talking to Scott D'Amore, wanted Eddie Edwards fired and erased from the history books so he could have a safe working environment. He even got a lawyer and filed some legal documents. You know who Brian Myers' lawyer is, right, Matt?
Yep.
The old smart mark. Damare says, well, you know what? You can settle everything in a holds harmless match at Sacrifice. And Myers said it was a submission match, but no. He says holds harmless means there's no rules. And Bad Mood Brian didn't like that at all.
Oh, well.
Bad Mood Brian. Trey Miguel beat up Sam Beal. And then Sammy Callahan came out and ended up actually dropping Beal with a pile driver to get in the head further of Trey Miguel. James Storm and Chris Sabin talking about how they're disgusted at what happened to Eric Young because they knew him from way back in the day, in the Impact days. And he says that you kill a snake by cutting its head off, and that's what they're going to do this Saturday. And Jake something came up to them and says that he offers to have their back to even up the odds, and they agreed as long as Jake will be a man of his word. You always wonder if Jake will kind of falter, but I don't think they're going to have Jake something join Violent by Design. Do you, Matt?
It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but I mean, who knows?
We got our paid ad from Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone, and like you said, they kind of cut the trash to Impact here. Ace Austin took on Chris Bay. Tremendous X Division match as they always provide us. Susan took on ODB. And after the match, Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly attacking ODB. Jazz and Jordan Grace make the save. And that was that. Then we end Impact with a bombshell. At Sacrifice this weekend, it's going to be Moose and Rich Swann in a title versus title match. And the winner gets Kenny Omega at Rebellion. How about that news, Matt?
Was not shocked.
Nope. We
kind of saw that coming.
Yep. Kind of saw it coming, and kind of makes it obvious who's winning Saturday too, huh?
I would be shocked if Swan didn't win.
Rebellion is April 24th, by the way. So Sacrifice this Saturday on Impact Plus. We've got James Storm, Chris Sabin taking on Diener and Joe. I'd assume Storm and Sabin get the win here, Matt.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Decay against Reno Scum. We don't see Reno Scum all that often, so I'd expect Decay to win that match. Hold harmless match. Would you put Brian Myers over here? I would put Brian Myers. I would too.
I would.
Okay, a good thing you agree. I would put him over because A, that elevates him huge. That's a former world champion. B, I think Brian Myers is doing a tremendous job at Impact. You agree?
Yeah, and I think is there really anything more for Eddie Edwards to do in Impact Wrestling?
No.
Like he's done everything. He's just to me, he's just kind of there now. He's like, to me, he's lethal.
Lethal in ROH, yeah.
Yes, like both of them have done all they possibly can in their respective companies now, and I just want to see them. I want to see them both go somewhere else.
Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K take on Nevaeh and Havoc. I would assume Nevaeh and Havoc win, but
I'm hoping this does not lead to one of them turning on the other.
And Nevaeh has been on a losing streak, and yeah, I don't know. Knockouts Championship, Deonna Purrazzo, ODB. No title change here, I don't expect.
Yeah, no way.
Here, though, Fire and Flavor against Jordan Grace and Jazz, I think there will be a title change.
I don't think there will be, but I think there should be.
Okay. I also think there will be no title change between TJP and Ace Austin, but we're going to get a good fucking match.
I hope we do get a title change.
Oh, you want Ace Austin to win? Okay.
I want total jack off pussy face to
Dollar Store Matt
lose
Taven.
the title and get the fuck out.
Oh, you don't like TJP?
I fucking hate TJP, dude.
So much so that you like Ace Austin over him.
I will pick anybody over TJP at this point. I think.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize you hated. I didn't realize you hated him.
I think he's a total jack off piece of shit.
Hey, that stands for TJP.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm thinking. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun, Matt. Good Brothers and Finn Juice. We know Finn Juice won't win because they're going to go back to New Japan. But damn, this will be good, won't it?
Dude, I'd love to see Finn Juice win this, but I don't think they will either.
And of course, Moose and Rich Swann. We just talked about title versus title unification match, and Rich Swann's going to win because we know the seeds have been sown for many months. Rich Swann and Kenny Omega.
I just don't see them doing Moose and Omega.
Kenny going to take that title in Ever Rebellion?
Yes.
Oh, it'll be fun.
There's no way that they're not putting the AEW World Title on Rich Swann. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is title.
Yeah, it's title for title.
Oh, I thought it was just Impact. Okay.
No, it's title for title. So that's not happening.
No, you're right. Yeah. SmackDown kicked off. Daniel Bryan with a good promo there. As we know now, he will be facing Roman Reigns at Fastlane. Boy, I'd just love to see Roman Reigns get beat there, but that ain't going to happen either. Just because, the Goldberg thing is still out there, there's hope that we might get Edge and Daniel Bryan and Roman and Goldberg. Still hope, right?
I'd be okay with it if that's what they did, but I don't think they're going to. I don't know if they're going to even have Goldberg and Mania at this point, because I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with him if it's not Roman.
And you saw
they might wait and use him at SummerSlam instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
And you saw the report today that Vince is literally going to tear up the drawing board on WrestleMania. It almost seems like, because it just doesn't feel big enough.
Well, Vince, if you had booked your product better in the months to come, maybe you could have made WrestleMania feel bigger.
Right.
Fucking moron.
Right. Montez Ford took on King Corbin, then Sami Zayn took on Angelo Dawkins. Carmella fires Reginald. Poor Reginald. Reginald kind of had the worst day ever there on SmackDown. Chad Gable, Dominic Mysterio, short little match there. I'm just not interested in that feud. I am interested, however, in Dex Hardwood talking about Chad Gable. Possibly contract might be up soon, and Dax may be pushing for a little match here or something. So maybe getting Gable to AEW.
He also implied that he would love to do the revival and American Alpha again.
Yeah, because isn't Jordan trying to come back?
I guess so. Dude, look, listen to this. If AEW gets American Alpha and they hire Kurt Angle to manage them in like a managerial role, like they should have done with American Alpha to begin with.
Oh, wait, Matt. No, wait. I got a better word for you. Ooh. You saw it coming. Ooh. You got to watch the party on Wednesday to get that joke. Ooh.
I do not like the Adam Cole and the Bebe shirt.
You don't like it? I like the ticket idea though.
Because it doesn't look like Adam Cole.
Yeah, that you're right.
If you look, like I went and looked at the shirt after I finished watching the episode. Cesaro, Breeze, and Woods all look great.
Yeah.
And the guy in the front, I'm like, I know this is supposed to be Adam Cole, but it looks nothing like Adam Cole.
Looks like Ronald Cole.
Yeah, I don't know how they let that get approved.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the shirt looks phenomenal. And honestly, if it would have looked like Adam Cole, I might have bought it. But it doesn't look like Adam Cole at all. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
You know, sold my Departy reference earlier.
I must have missed it.
When I started saying, "Please don't take my sunshine away."
My God, that was funny. Like 2 minutes, and then it crescendoed into him winning the night, which was, who does that look? That looks more like Charlie, the security dude for AEW that's in Sammy vlog.
I would say yes. That looks more like Charlie than Adam Cole. Yes.
That
It does
look...
not look like Adam Cole at all. Look, if you look at the other three guys, they all look great. But that doesn't look like Cole at all. Like, I don't know how they fucked up that bad.
I'm going to try something new on the podcast. I'm going to share my screen here. Matt, if you're watching, do you see it?
Yeah, I'm watching you. It's just, yeah, there, yeah.
Yeah, right, there it is. That looks like Charlie from AEW, not Adam Cole.
And the other three guys, don't they all look good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think Cesaro, Woods, and Breeze all look great. And then the big image in the front, the one who's supposed to be Adam Cole, Charlie. It does not. I swear to God, I looked at it for like 5 minutes last night because I really wanted to go to a point where I could see, oh yeah, I can see it now. And nothing, no matter how I looked at it, I can't see that that's supposed to be Adam Cole.
Yeah. My a gaming website I've been a part of actually helped create back in 2010, the Gaming Tailgate. We resurrected our podcast, the TGT cast, I think is what it's called. We resurrected that because of the news of the NCAA football, and so we've been doing a couple of shows, and so we Chris has been kind of testing the screen share type of thing with recording, and it worked well. So like, hey, I figured I might as well try that for once, and then you could see my screen, so you would see exactly what I'm talking about. So, hey, that got to give the people what they want, and give you a little more incentive to watch the video podcast. You know,
makes sense to me.
Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler short match. This was not a good SmackDown in my opinion. It was disappointing. Cesaro Murphy only went 3 minutes. What is this? Murphy's now wanting to be on Rollins' side again? What the?
Fucking dumb.
What? I am liking what they're doing with Apollo Crews, though, Matt. I don't know what you think at this point, but I like what they that they're giving him.
I hate the accent, man.
Yeah, the accent's a little over the top.
The accent for me would be fine if you debut. You can debut with an accent.
Kofi.
You can't develop an accent out of nowhere.
When
Lana came in with the Russian accent,
I get
Kofi came in with the Jamaican accent. That stuff's fine. But when you're already established with a certain voice for years on television, to change it, it's a disconnect for me.
I get it,
it's a disconnect.
I get it because he was trying to be someone he wasn't. That's how he's playing it off. It makes sense storyline-wise why he has the accent, because he was trying to act more American to please Vince McMahon, to please the fans, whatever. And now he's dropping that act and going to his regular dialect. I get it, and I like it. I think it's good. And
maybe it'll grow on me. Right now, I'm not a fan at all.
It's a little weird. It's a little Wakanda-ish, you could say. But his promos have been good the last 2 weeks. He is being made to be more of an important character, and I think they are doing a good job with that. So I'm pretty happy with what they're doing with Apollo right now, and I think he'll take the title off of Big E at Fastlane.
He damn well better not.
What are they doing with Adam Pearce here? Screwing up the NXT Tag Team title match, huh? What'd you think about that?
Well, from what I reported today on Sportskeeda, apparently the original plan was the Women's Dusty Classic was always set to be done to crown the first ever NXT Women's Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
But the Women's Dusty Classic was not supposed to take place side by side with the Men's Dusty Classic. And it was going to take place afterwards.
Okay.
And there was somebody made a decision somewhere where the tournament got bumped up to go side by side with the men's. The problem was they knew
belts weren't ready.
The time the belts weren't ready by the time that they were near the finals. That's why they didn't even announce that the winner was going to get a WWE Women's Tag Team title shot until the two final teams were announced in the finals, because they were dragging their feet hoping those titles would be ready, and they couldn't get them done in time. So before the title match actually occurred, WWE received the championships, and then they went with the whole, well,
Gimmick.
we'll screw Raquel and Dakota out of these championships so we can reward them with these championships. But then they made the dumb fucking call of having them drop them immediately.
That was weird.
So they could do Raquel and Io Shirai at Takeover.
That was weird.
I didn't like it.
It was
I didn't
weird.
like it at all.
I haven't watched NXT. I haven't watched NXT yet, but I knew Ember and Shotzi won, so I knew
what they should have done is they should have just been like, we got these new titles. We're gonna find out who the first ever champions are tonight, and they could have had
a ceremony,
a rematch. No, they could have had a rematch.
Oh,
they could have had Raquel and Dakota against Shotzi and Ember, and the winners were the first ever NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. To hand a team a championship and make them drop them an hour later in their first title defense.
That was weird.
It's a really fucking shitty thing to do.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
It was weird.
And they have plenty of weeks between now and the next takeover. If the plan is Io and Raquel, and that's what they implied.
We only have 4 weeks.
That's what they implied last night. Yeah, plenty of time. They didn't need. They could have done. They could have done that tag title match next week. Yeah. They could at least given them a week with those belts.
Yeah.
Before to get them to them and have them drop them on the same show
an hour later.
I thought that was a really shitty thing to do.
Yeah, that was a little weird. Ding Dong Hello with Bailey. I wonder Bailey'd be a good host for WrestleMania this year. What do you think, Matt? It's not really
you don't have nothing else to do. Like, I guess she'll be in a battle royal or something. Like, she's like, I don't see anything else they could do for her at WrestleMania right now. I mean, I guess if they want to do a crazy multi-woman tag match, I guess they could put her and Carmella together.
Yeah.
And they could do something with that. But I mean, I don't know what necessarily what their plan is going to be for people like Bailey at WrestleMania right now.
You could put her with Billie Kay maybe even as well. Something. I liked Corey Graves introducing the steel cage match. I thought that was a little different, a little unique. And then, of course, Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso tore it up in that steel cage. No surprise as Bryan goes on to Fastlane. Little below par SmackDown, unfortunately. But Monday Night Raw, we start off with The Miz, who's going to get his title rematch. And Miz basically whining about having cramps and all that stuff, and said that Lashley had a chance and blew it and whatnot. And he complained because that's what heels do. Bobby Lashley comes out. Pretty cool new entrance for Lashley, huh, Matt?
He's like a video game boss battle now.
Right? Little cut scene, and then here comes Lashley. That's a good analogy on that. Lashley made short work of the Miz. Actually, not short work. It was about 8 minutes. Miz got a little more offense there this time around, but then ended up tapping out to the Hurt Lock. And then we saw Drew McIntyre watching the match backstage as well. Drew was getting interviewed when Sheamus attacked him, and pissed off Drew asks for a match with Adam Pearce, and Adam gave it to him. No disqualification match. That'll be later on. What the fuck happened with Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon? That segment was terrible. I hear Shane might have forgot some of his lines, which made it seem so awkward, is what I'm hearing. But that was terrible. That was a bad segment, wasn't it? Is Matt still there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Matt just recovered from banging his head off the desk.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
There was a lot of bad stuff on Raw Monday night, sir.
One thing that was not bad was the no disqualification match between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Fuck, that was good.
That's true.
20 minutes.
Although the finish was hilarious.
Yeah. 20 minutes. And, well, this went to a no contest, a draw. And that's going to lead to Fastlane last man standing, or what have they said yet? It's going to be something at Fastlane.
I'm hearing it's a last man standing match. I hear that's the plan anyway.
Seems like they're doing a lot of those lately, right?
I guess it's an easy match type. I don't know.
Tremendous match. God, Sheamus has just been doing nothing but good matches for the past year now. AJ Styles making fun of Randy Orton, so that sets up a match for later. Xavier Woods beat Shelton Benjamin in a short match. Slapjack got beat up by, or Slapdick as Matt likes to call him, got beat up by Riddle, and that pissed off Mustafa Ali. Actually, no, now we got to there's something with Braun beforehand. Braun cut some promo or whatever. I don't know what the hell. Oh, it was Shane telling him I'm sorry, and then walked off. And then we got this stupid segment after. Now we're to the stupid segment with Shane and Strowman and women's tag team title match. Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax took on Naomi and Lana, and the champions retain. Reginald now aligned with Nia Jax because she thinks he's cute. Straight up Steve Austin season finale. Sad to see the season end, but ends with Charlotte Flair this week. Another weird segment. They
should just aired that episode. Look, they want to turn Charlotte face. They should have just aired that episode in the 30 minutes on the Raw time slot.
Right?
Because that did a better job of making Charlotte Flair a likable figure than anything WWE has ever done in their 7 years of having her on their programming.
Right. Yeah, what was this with Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose and wanting to prove themselves?
I don't know. It was terrible.
I had no idea what was going on there. Randy Orton, AJ Styles had a hell of a match. No surprise there. And then Papa Shango showed up again. And that ended a average edition of Raw. It was pretty average this week for WWE. Young Rock continues a solid audience into week 3. I've not watched the 3rd episode yet, but maybe I'll pop that in here sometime soon. But Young Rock with 3.2 million, a slight decrease, but still a strong showing for week 3. SmackDown had the steel cage main event that did bring in a lot more viewers, about 100,000 more viewers, as SmackDown got to 2.1 million for the evening. Straight up Steve Austin with Charlotte Flair, actually the highest audience of the year with Charlotte Flair. 753,000 viewers tuned in for that. I hope USA renews that for a year 3. I would highly assume they will, because I mean that's a pretty good rating for a 10 Central, 11 Eastern time slot, by the way. Raw with Bobby Lashley now as champion got a slight increase to almost 1.9 million. The increase was very slight. It was like 15,000 viewers, but they did suffer their usual sharp 3rd hour drop off, as they lost about 270,000 viewers from hour 1 to hour 3. Impact Wrestling went up this week. Last week, which we hadn't covered because we delayed our show this week, they had 134,000. This week, 144,000. So it went up a little bit. The Wednesday Night Wars, both audience. Well, actually, AEW took the large dip. NXT basically remained even. AEW with 743,000. They lost about 200,000 viewers from the Shaquille O'Neal show. A lot of that could have been Revolution. A lot of that, I think, Masked Singer came back this week. Masked
Singer came back.
NXT.
It was the season premiere.
NXT
on Wednesday night, and they had almost 6 million viewers on just the Masked Singer alone.
That's a money.
It's a juggernaut show.
Yeah, it's a money maker.
NXT and AEW suffer every time the Masked Singer comes back,
which is weird because NXT didn't suffer. They only lost.
Well, they lost 1,000 viewers, but dude, their ratings have pretty much bottomed out.
Yeah,
like they're stuck in the 600,000s. Like that to me, that's their diehard level at this point. That's the That's the NXT diehard audience, of that in the 600,000 range, and they're gonna stay there. They're not gonna really drop out of that. So like those are the people that are loyal, and then they're gonna be watching no matter what. So
Then they'll move to Tuesday, and both brands will benefit. So
tremendously.
Which is weird because now ESPN just announced they're going to have hockey, and they're taking the Stanley Cup away from NBC. But I guess they would still air on NBC Sports Network too. I don't think it takes away from NBC completely, the deal.
I hope not.
I think it just takes away the Stanley Cup, but that all doesn't happen until 15 months from now anyways. So for the Stanley Cup at least. So I'll worry about that when the time comes.
I want that fucking move to happen.
Yeah, me too.
If that falls through and we don't get that move, I'm gonna be pissed. I've had my fill of the Wednesday Night War. It creates such a toxic online environment. I've had enough.
It's not leaving NBC Sports Network. Good. ESPN's going to take the Stanley Cup, but the emphasis on the deal is streaming. So the emphasis is airing games on ESPN Plus.
And ESPN, yeah, there you go.
This is the key thing here. NHL happy with how NBC's presented and promoted hockey, but leagues generally prefer to have multiple media companies share television rights. So they're still going to have Wednesday night hockey.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like, what? The freaking NFL's on like 4 different channels.
Yeah, so you'll have NHL on USA Wednesday nights.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's going to mainly try to get people to sign up for ESPN Plus or for the bundle, which I just found out they're upping the price by $2 a month.
On the bundle.
Yeah, it's going to be 14 instead of 12.
Oh, jeez.
For Disney.
I don't have the bundle, so
I have the bundle.
I just have Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Well, I already subscribed to ESPN Plus and Hulu, so it made sense.
Oh, you see, I didn't have either, so it didn't make as much sense for me as it did for you.
Sad news from last week: legendary wrestling promoter Jim Crockett Jr. passed away. So that's pretty cool. The news that Jim had passed away, and they brought out JJ Dillon with that 6-man tag. So I thought that was kind of a nice tribute from last week. Moving on the headlines here. Got some more content for New Japan added to the Roku channel. They got Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Los Ingobernables de Japón versus Bullet Club. So a couple of things added to the Roku channel there. As we mentioned, they announced on NXT the first ever 2-night takeover, WrestleMania weekend, Wednesday, Thursday, April 7th and 8th. Followed by SmackDown on the 9th and Hall of Fame on Saturday. Oh, no, two nights of WrestleMania. I forgot.
Hall of Fame on Tuesday.
Which we'll get to the first inductee in a minute. NWA posted a video saying they're back. I don't know if anybody's going to hear it though, because I don't know who's going to pay to watch that. Diehard indie fans, maybe.
Dude, they weren't even getting great viewership on YouTube for free. Like the fact that they think people are going to want to pay for that content when a majority of their stars that people were watching that programming for are now gone.
Yeah,
I don't really know what the fuck they're thinking.
I would have loved to seen the buy numbers for that United Championship Wrestling when you had to pay to watch that. I bet you that was low as fuck. Well, The Rock has a couple $dollars in his bank account, and he's got a couple more as Netflix has picked up a new project from The Rock. The Hollywood Reporter reporting that they have picked up Teddy and the Guardians of the Night based on a popular illustration from a Greek fantasy. And The Rock's production company behind that that piece there. Congrats to Captain Sean Dean. Announcement was made that he is now all elite. I did not realize his record was so bad.
Dude, they haven't even let him win a match yet. They fucking signed him a contract. So
he's got the Brandon Cutler, Peter Avalon record. I think he even got worse than that.
No, it's much worse because those guys have went on winning streaks.
Yeah, he's like 0-30 something. Moving on. AEW star and current NWA Women's Champion Serena Deeb announced that she underwent surgery on her knee, had a scope, went well. She said she'll be back before you know it. The scopes you typically put you on the shelf for about a month, so not too long.
I was gonna say I'm not really familiar with how long people are out when they get a scope, so
about a month, maybe 6 weeks. NXT WWE has filed for a trademark NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver.
Name fucking blows.
Stand and Deliver. That deserves a thigh slap, Matt. There's a sign, according to Dave Meltzer.
I heard.
There's a sign taped up to the wall. No thigh slaps. I saw a graphic. Somebody put the graphic. Thigh slaps is all elite.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Fucking great.
Stupidest shit that they worry about.
John Pollock of Post Wrestling reports that Jim Ross was interviewed for the third season of Vice TV's Dark Side of the Ring, and one of the topics for the third season is going to be the plane ride from hell, Matt. That'll be fun.
Oh boy,
to have a Dark Side of the Ring on that. May 2002, a number of wrestlers and management flew from Great Britain to the United States following the end of a European tour. On that flight, there were a number of incidents, including involving management and wrestlers, later attributed to heavy drinking on the plane. Among those incidents were Kurt Hennig goading Brock Lesnar into a fight. What else was there? Dustin Rhodes serenading Terry Runnels and being told to stop by Jim Ross. Bradshaw and Michael P.S. Hayes got into a physical altercation. Man, that'll be fun to watch. Plane ride from hell. That's going to be an interesting one. AEW trademarks Captain Insano. Action figures?
That they did.
Action figures is my guess. That's from Waterboy, ain't it?
Yep.
I would assume that's action figures, something to do for action figures.
Video games.
Maybe a unlockable in the new video game. As you may have seen on this past Monday night's Raw, Kevin Patrick, a new backstage correspondent, has joined the team. He's also going to be the host of Raw Talk and the play-by-play guy for Main Event. He's got a background with Fox Sports as well as CNN International from Dublin, Ireland. Has had a lot of experience in the broadcasting world for soccer. Joey Ryan has dropped many of his existing lawsuits, and he will probably continue to be unemployed for the most part.
CM Punk called him on his shit.
He did. I saw that. New Matt Riddle shirt out there called The Professional. Okay.
Yay.
Christian Cage appeared on Renee Young's podcast discussing who he would like to wrestle in AEW. I don't have any other information on that. That's all he said. Oh, here we go. He mentioned Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, Darby Allin, and MJF. I can imagine the back and forth between Christian and MJF. That would be highly entertaining, wouldn't it?
I would think so.
A second match has been announced for ROH's 19th anniversary pay-per-view. Previously announced ROH champion Roosh is taking on Jay Lethal, and we will get EC3 and Jay Briscoe finally, officially, as well. That is on pay-per-view May 26th. And why is my mouse fucking up again? Jesus Christ. I think my battery's dead. So once I kind of twirled the battery, it started working again. So I think I just need to put a new battery in this fucker. But we're almost done with the show. So, Matt, this makes complete sense now of why Matt Cardona posted a picture of John Laurinaitis, because people power is back in the WWE.
Ugh.
John Laurinaitis is now officially a general manager of talent and talent relations. People power. WWE filed for 2 new trademarks. Frankie Monet, I guess, will be a new wrestler, and then Symbolicis, whatever the fuck that means. Hall of Fame ceremony will take place Tuesday, April 6th on Peacock, so that'll officially kick off WrestleMania week. And the first inductee into the Hall of Fame, none other than the great Molly Holly. Well deserved. Now, what about this previous people that were announced before for last year, Matt?
They're all going to be inducted on the same night, from my understanding.
Okay.
So I'm hoping the 2021 class does not have a lot of people in it, because we don't need a fucking marathon.
No. Who's going to be who's the big guy on last year's class?
Batista in the NWO.
Okay. Who do you think will be the big guy this year?
I don't know. I don't think you need a big guy this year, to be quite honest.
Just fill out some more.
I would do maybe 3 to 4 people.
Okay, makes
tops
sense.
In the 2021 class. You're still headlining with Batista in the NWO. Like, what more do you need?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, because if these are technically people that haven't been inducted yet, you're still technically they're basically all the class of 2021. So you already have your top guys. Top guys out. XFL tweeted out that they are looking into formal talks to have a partnership with the Canadian Football League.
Meh.
Dark Side of the Ring's overnight audience for let's see here. Oh, they just revisited Gino Hernandez, and that was so that brought in 79,000 viewers, but that was just kind of they're kind of like rehashing things or revisiting things, it looks like.
It's a sit down podcast type of deal.
With Conrad?
Yeah, with Conrad.
Turkey tits.
Be nice for Conrad.
AEW Evolution is going to kick off Monday, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, headlined by Riho against Maki Ito. Jungle Boy is going to take on Danny Limelight. Do I have anything else on here? Let me see here. I don't think I do. Let me see if I can get a lineup here. While I look for a lineup, Anna posted on Instagram, successful surgery on the shoulder. Get well soon, Anna. We miss you already.
Yeah, I hope it's closer to 6 months instead of 12.
Yeah. I agree. Dante Martin from Top Flight takes on Max Caster. Ty Conchi takes on Ashley Vox, who also had wrestled for NWA back in the day. Brandon Cutler is going to get killed by Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah.
And that is what we know for now, but much more. I wonder how long that show is going to be.
Assuming it's going to be an hour.
Yeah, it starts at 6:30, 7:30 Eastern.
Oh, 6:30?
Yeah, it might be an hour and a half.
Wait, what? Wait, it starts at 7:30?
Yeah. Action starts at 7:30, according to this tweet.
No, that was when they were doing... Wait, when's this tweet?
I'll send it to you. March 10th, yesterday.
Yeah, no, that was for the taping yesterday.
Oh. Okay.
As far as I know, Elevation will be on at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. 6 Central, the same time that the the AEW Women's Japanese tournament's been that was done over the last several weeks.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, this was forced. Yeah, the action starts at 7:30, basically telling people that's when then they were going to be taping matches prior to Dynamite. Is what they're saying with that.
Sad news that we heard today. Becky Lynch announcing the passing of her father on Instagram.
Yeah,
yeah. Unfortunately, never got to meet his granddaughter yet. Probably a lot of it due to the COVID, but so that was kind of unfortunate. But
that's terrible.
Yeah. Television title match announced for 17th anniversary. I went back to the future there for a minute, Matt. Tracy Williams will take on Dragon Lee. Have you been watching ROH at all lately? I still cannot find time to find it, but
I won't say consistently, but I'll check it out every now and then if I have a free moment because it goes on my DVR. So
WWE stock closed today at the highest mark since the pandemic, $58.28. And to wrap things up, the first 9 talents have been announced for the return of the NWA. No surprise, NWA champion Nick Aldis. No surprise, NWA national champion. Did you just go bleh?
Yeah.
Your buddy, man. It's your buddy Nick Aldis. Come on.
Yeah, just put him and TJP in an exploding barbed wire death match. And actually let the ring blow up.
Man, he's a national treasure. Come on, Matt.
No, he's not.
No surprise, NWA national champion Trevor Murdoch. The television champion is Elijah Burke. He'll return. Jordan Clearwater, don't know who that is. Tim Storm, of course, legendary Tim Storm. Slice Boogie, don't know who the hell that is. Tyrus, I guess he's returning to wrestling. Crimson, who wrestled in
this roster sucks.
And Aaron Stevens.
This roster sucks.
I would not pay for that.
They lost everybody that I cared to tune in and see. They have nobody left.
Yep.
Seriously, there was not one person you just named that I would pay money to see.
Not pay money, no.
No. Not one name.
Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. I'd like to thank SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just get yourself do a search for Lost the Midcard and hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way. Typically on Wednesdays, but this week we went to Friday. So that way when you subscribe, you will know when it comes your way. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links again are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. You can also follow us on the Twitter. I'm on there at JB Huskers. Matt is on there at Raw F Showtime. And before we ride off into the sunset, look forward to a little sacrifice on Saturday, the pay-per-view, in case you're wondering what we're talking about. Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Terrible. I'm happy AEW righted the ship this week, and I look forward to the Wednesday Night War hopefully being over next month because I'm fucking sick of it.
Yeah, the rumored date is
April 13th
after Mania.
Yep.
So that's gonna be like
that'll be 9 days straight of WWE live WWE content if that happens.
Vince loves it.
10 days total of live pro wrestling if you count AEW.
AEW, the pay-per-view was not the best effort because, I mean, they set the bar pretty high sometimes. It was still a good effort, and it was a highly awesome finish until the explosion. So, you know, we're now through that. Great job of explaining it. A great Dynamite, by the way, on Wednesday. And then I caught the end of NXT after that, and that was a tremendous end to the match with Adam Cole and Finn Balor. We'll talk about NXT on the next show, though. It was a good night of pro wrestling from what I gather on NXT side, and we saw what we had with AEW. That was a good night as well. So it was a good response, good follow-up, good look to the future. There's a lot of things to look forward to in AEW, and I, for one, am excited on that. As for WrestleMania, well, even Vince doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So, it's hard to be excited for WrestleMania. And so hopefully they get their shit together, because TakeOver is going to set the bar pretty high and probably outshine them once again. But for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard, and we will catch you next week.